In MMA, in MMA fighting, do you ever have a situation where your opponent is handcuffed behind the back?
Never.
Do you ever have a situation in MMA where there are 3 people fighting against 1?
Never.
And when you were on the scene at 38th and Chicago on May 25th of last year, when you were watching this interaction between these 4 Minneapolis police officers and Mr. Floyd, were you watching a cage match at the time?
Well, I only seen 2 of them, the animals, so I was watching more of a humane shit show.
Okay.
Objection. Sustained.
And
Sorry about what you said.
That's okay.
Okay.
so you weren't watching a sport that day, were you?
Not at all.
Mr. Nelson asked you a couple times about this kind of blood choke around the throat. Are you, based on your training, your experience doing this yourself, can you apply a blood choke to one side of the neck?
Correct.
And is that done in mixed martial arts?
That is done. Correct.
So whether Mr. Nelson wants to ask you about doing it on both sides of the neck, you've seen it done on one side of the neck.
Correct.
All right. And when you were on the street there at 38th and Chicago on May 25th of last year, watching Mr. Chauvin and Mr. Floyd, was it that kind of blood choke you thought you were seeing on one side of the neck?
That is correct.
Overruled.
Mr. Nelson asked you about seeing times when somebody has been unconscious in a mixed martial arts fight and come to and try to wrestle again or fight again. When an opponent is rendered unconscious through something like a chokehold in a mixed martial arts fight, is the fight stopped?
Right away. Immediately. Medical attention. Right away.
Mr. Nelson asked you about dealing with crowds that are upset in your experience as a security guard. When you're dealing with a crowd that is upset, are there ways to try and de-escalate the situation without using force?
That is correct.
Like what kinds of things can you do?
Really staying calm, being humane, talking to the person, trying to talk them down, just getting the person away from the situation, just being humane with the person. What worked for me in downtown Minneapolis as a security guard and with drunk people that I'm babysitting pretty much. Like I have to come to and try to figure out a way how to solve this problem without putting physical force to them unless they are trying to physically enforce on me.
So while you were on the street there on 38th in Chicago on May 25th of last year and watching Mr. Chauvin hold Mr. Floyd down, did you see Officer Tao try to de-escalate that situation at all with the crowd?
Objection. Sustained.
Well, based on your training and experience as a security guard and your testimony just now about ways to de-escalate the situation, did you see Tao doing anything like that while you were there on that scene?
Same objection.
Sustained. Sidebar.